The rise of Zohran Mamdani in New York City has got far-right commentators going absolutely ballistic with hair-on-fire content. And one great example of this is Matt Walsh of the Daily Wire, the most far-right-wing Daily Wire commentator. He has been criticizing Zohran Mamdani for the high crime of not being born in the United States. Yes, that's right. He's angry that Mamdani was not born in America, and he's saying that basically there's a foreign invasion going on.
An Islamic socialist from Uganda is about to take over the biggest city in the country. And at the same time, as if that's not enough, a far-left Somali scam artist is about to take over one of the biggest cities in America's heartland, Minneapolis. And this is the kind of threat that a serious country and a serious political movement would prioritize above any other. If foreigners who want to destroy the U.S. are able to seize control of our largest cities, then nothing else matters, okay? Whatever it is that you're worried about doesn't matter. Foreign policy doesn't matter. Podcasts, even the most offensive and racist podcasts you can think of, don't matter. The Constitution doesn't matter. The Heritage Foundation doesn't matter. Nothing matters at all in that scenario because we will have ceased to exist as a country. Okay, once we become Somalia or Uganda, we've lost everything. And
this is really reckless rhetoric. So he's painting this apocalyptic scenario where we're facing some foreign invasion, a foreign invasion, and nothing else matters. So we can ignore every other bad thing because we have to focus on this foreign invasion. Really? Are you going to tell that to people whose health insurance premiums may well be tripling as a result of President Trump and Republicans in Congress? Yet nothing else matters. We have to stop this foreign invasion. This is an excellent example of how they focus on cultural issues in order to distract from important economic issues. They say, oh, this is going to be the end of the country if we don't focus on stopping this. And we can ignore all the other bad stuff that the far right does. We can ignore racist podcasts. We can ignore sexism and homophobia, all this other stuff, all this praising Hitler in the Republican group chat. We can just ignore that because that's not the most important issue. We need to focus on the foreign invasion. Honestly, some people say that this is not the type of thing that mainstream right-wing commentators would do 10 years ago, and I generally agree. But also, let's not forget that there was the Obama birtherism thing and the Kenyan Marxist slam on him that they kind of just made up out of nowhere. So this is something that's existed before. It's just become more mainstream and popular. And for all the hate that Ben Shapiro gives Nick Fuentes for being far right and being a bigot, it's like there's not that much of a difference between Matt Walsh and Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes has a higher pitched voice and a better hairline, but really, there's not that much difference. Fuentes is openly anti-Semitic, whereas Matt Walsh doesn't really talk about, the Jewish question or anything like that. So yeah, there's not that much of a difference. This is just rank bigotry and rank garbage. And the funny thing is that if Matt Walsh didn't like Ben Shapiro, if say, all of his positions were the same and they didn't get along, Ben would be like, Matt Walsh is horrible. What a terrible person. What a disgusting, vile, bigoted person. But because they work together, it's like, okay, I'll give him a pass. I'll give him a pass, for fear-mongering about a foreign invasion. And by the way, I don't want to hear from any people on the right saying leftists need to tone down the rhetoric. Sure, there are some leftists who have very elevated rhetoric, but Matt Walsh, people like him, they have leftists topped when it comes to rhetoric, dangerous rhetoric like this. This is like a type of rhetoric that can really get people harmed. I mean, seriously, if you think there's a foreign invasion going on, what will that lead to someone who is not overly sophisticated, not all that intelligent, and easily manipulated to do? It's kind of scary imagining. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Please like, comment, or subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. This is the more the merrier, and I look forward to speaking to you in my next video.